Hey y'all, my name is Nylah Davis and you're watching The Reparations Show.
Don't want no spare change or handout. I see that everywhere I go. Want you to reach right in your conscience, baby, and give me everything I'm owed. I'm talking about them reparations, reparations. Oh, honey, give me all my money. Reparations, reparations. Give me everything you owe. Reparations, reparations for all them years of frustrations. This is the freaking Reparations Show.
I am so excited to be here. I've been so happy to be working with Kevin Arfree in Frederick, New York, as well as Erez, working on the show, being a PA, being in the background, growing and learning, and now I get to play. They let me loose, y'all, and I am so excited. We have an awesome episode today, and the subject of our episode is that Black girl, the diversity of Black women. And I have some amazing Black women that I have gone and grown with and have had my artistic journey with. And I'm so excited to just share their love, share their intellect, share their art with you, and just share this beautiful like round table talk. But first, I gotta show out some family. I love this person. When I met Kevin Arfree, I told Kevin, "Oh no, I like you too much. I'm your niece now. It's your Uncle Kevin. Too late. I like you. Haha, you're mine now." And he said, "All right, let's go." I am so grateful for the opportunities, the wisdom that he's given me, the platform, and more than anything, his signature gummy bear beard. Let's talk to Kevin Arfree right now. Kevin, please come in.
Nylah.
Yes.
I thought we agreed we wouldn't talk about the gummy bear beard.
We are always talking about the gummy bear beard. I'm sorry.
Yes, I know. That's why I thought we agreed not to talk about it. Since you've brought it up, I suppose you need to tell everyone what you mean by my gummy bear beard, because I don't get it, but I feel like people just need to know. Go ahead.
So, I met Kevin in my senior year at UNLV. Kevin was commissioned to direct our play Marcus or the Secret of Sweet, and I was casted in it. And I love Kevin so much. We were learning, and I was taking direction, and me being the super nerd I'm like, "Ooh, I'm gonna learn everything from day one. I'm gonna be great." And then Kevin was giving me direction. He was very close, and I was getting this information.
I have no sense of personal space, apparently.
None. All up in the grill. But like, unlike any other day, because I am very quick to be like, "Sir, hello, why are you in my face? Do you pay my bills? What's going on?" But not this time, because Kevin has an iconic smell that brings straight happiness to me, and that is gummy bears. He was this close to me, and I was just like, "What? Like, I'm listening, but I'm not here because I'm somewhere else. What? You smell like gummy bears?" I love gummy bears like skin loves sun.
Oh my.
Like your lover loves water.
Yeah.
I love gummy bears. I'm pretty sure on my wedding day, I will have some kind of bougie gummy bears just sitting around. It'll probably be like champagne and grapes with gold flakes in it. Something bougie, but classy, you know? And he smelled like all of it. I went on a journey so close with Kevin. I was like, "Oh no. I don't just like learning from you. I like you." Oh no, yes, gummy bear beard.
Okay.
And so, can I tell him? Can I tell him what I'm doing?
No.
Anyway. Yes. So because of this, I am writing a short fan fiction story about the adventures of Kevin Arfree and the tantalus affair that he has with a 6'7" giant human-sized gummy bear. It's gonna be amazing. We've taught the artists. The comic is coming. Y'all just got to get ready.
Just that I can't wait to read it. I can't wait to read the fan fiction, and I hope I get to voice myself or the gummy bear.
I would hope so.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Nylah, I want to thank you for being the PA these 6 or 7 weeks, and for being my niece, and for helping me and teaching me a lot about the Reparations Show during this time. So I thank you so much, and I love you, and I can't wait to text you when you're not the PA to tell you what the next PA is doing.
I would love to see.
All right. So the reason I'm here, Morgan, get Nylah out of here.
Bye.
I'm done with Nylah for a second. All right. So This Week in Reparations happens every week. And every week, I feel like This Week in Reparations disrupts the flow of the show because we have a different host on every week, and the hosts are amazing and they bring their beautiful points of view, and beautiful guests. Like today, the 3 guests that Nylah has brought on are wonderful. And just the conversation that we had backstage before we began was so great that I said, I think that we need to do This Week in Reparations at the beginning of the show, get it over with, and then have these beautiful Black women talk about being that Black girl, because I'm not that Black girl, obviously. Or maybe it's not so obvious, but I'm not. So I want to bring to you this interview that I had with Chris O'Connor of Mile Square Theater, who employed me to direct their production of It's a Wonderful Life that started streaming yesterday and will be streaming for the next 5 weeks. You can buy tickets at milesquaretheater.org. It is the most diverse production of It's a Wonderful Life I've ever seen. There's only one white person in it. But I wanted to talk to Chris O'Connor about what they were doing in to support the movement for Black lives, and something very specific about their plans. And one of them is a succession plan to replace their artistic director, who came on the Reparations show to talk to me. So here is that video. Before you roll it, I'm thanking Nylah one more time. This will be the last time you see me in the Reparations show, Nylah. So know that I love you and I appreciate you so much. Okay, Morgan, roll it. Hey, Chris O'Connor. I want to thank you for donating your time to the Reparations show tonight. After George Floyd was murdered, your company was one of the first companies that sent out, of all the companies that sent the things about Black Lives Matter and standing with the movement for Black lives. Yours was one of the first that came out. And when people reached out to me, because I had a lot of people reach out to me to ask me if I would help them write their statements, I stopped saying yes. I stopped helping, and then I just forwarded your message to a couple of organizations and a couple of people. And so you didn't know that, but I wanted to make sure you knew that now.
I didn't even know we were one of the first, actually. So it's really interesting to hear.
You were one of the first to hit my inbox.
Okay.
And I was really happy about it because we had just worked together, it felt like. And and then later, you were one of the first companies to send an update on this is what we're doing about anti-racism efforts.
We got some wonderful people in this organization, and Andrew Baldwin, who is who is
Yes.
our director of operations, and he's a wonderful actor and friend, and he was really driving this effort with us. And you say and it's funny because you say we're among the first, but we really were. We had to wordsmith and craft that carefully. So I guess we crafted it fairly quickly. And then we go ahead.
I would say that you crafted it quickly because you knew where you stood.
Yeah.
That it wasn't, I mean, I think a lot of people were during that time wondering what to do, and the text messages to all their Black friends and all of that stuff happened. But what I found really striking about your statement was that it felt heartfelt to me, and not copy and paste in the way a lot of them were. And then what was really striking to me afterwards was that, I've received a few updates from other companies about what they've been doing. and how they are now holding themselves accountable to the support for Black lives. But Miles Square Theater is the only company that has said that they're putting together a succession plan.
Right.
And so I want to ask you about your succession plan and what that I don't need to know like the plan, but I want to know the driving force behind that and what it is. Tell everybody what the succession plan is.
Well, first I want to say also that, you know, we engage in so much self-reflection, and we're a largely white organization. But we all engaged in a lot of reflection and education, and the New Jersey Theater Alliance was really helpful to us because they spent a summer of anti-racist training for all their member theaters, and we would go to those trainings in separate rooms on our own computers, and we'd get on and we'd see like 5 or 6 of our board members, you know, plus staff. So I think there was a will in our organization. Um, to move forward with this.
That's great.
And I think that the succession part of it is, so I'm the founder. So this is a founder led organization, and the fact that the succession plan is in the statement is that we feel that this is an opportunity. We feel that this is an opportunity, you know, to bring leadership, you know, BIPOC leadership into our organization, which you know, when you look, you know, and we read We See You White American Theater, and this is an opportunity for us to really walk the walk. This is a time for us to really look at the leadership of our theater, and not just the leadership, but I think that says a lot if in the next year or so, and I move aside and give over to, you know, a person of color, a person of another gender. You know, this is. I was talking to my wife this evening, and she said that a friend of ours who works for the Directors Guild just read a study from Equity about leadership in American theater, and she said it's, you know, I don't know what the percentage, but it's way up there. They all look like this.
Yeah, it's kind of bleak. There's a study that was just done by APAC.
I'm ready to pass the reins, pass the baton.
Yeah.
And I think we're ready. I think we're ready as an institution. You know, we started as a peripatetic little theater, and now we're the largest arts organization in Hudson County.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Hey, that's great. I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah. But it's largely, you know, a white community, and we are looking at ourselves as not being just a Hoboken theater anymore. We're looking at ourselves as being a Hudson County theater, which is a very dense and diverse county. And we see this transition also as it's a way that we're going to enlarge our audience and talk about things that mean something beyond the audience that we've started with, you know. And I think it's a really great thing. And you know, you've been in on this since you know, in the last year. You know, I think we saw ourselves, and I saw myself as a pretty woke person and a progressive person.
Yeah.
But you know, it wasn't until I learned a really hard lesson a couple seasons ago when I produced Driving Miss Daisy, and I was taken to task for it by Patrick Maley, who's a really great critic for the Star Ledger, and he said, "Why this play? Why this play now? You know, this has little to do with what's going on in our world." And this is, you know, 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was embarrassed that I'd chosen that play. And there were reasons. I mean, one of the reasons I chose that play is because the play I wanted I couldn't get, but I chose that play. And then a season or two later, you know, we did Pipeline, which I think taught us a lot. It taught our community a lot. And well, you were there. You directed it.
I was there.
You know, it kind of really exposed a lot of gosh, just bad liberalism, that wasn't progressive. That was really, a lot of comments. I don't see color in this.
Yes.
I just see
Yes.
people, and it's like, no, that's not
Right.
what this play is about, and that's not what we want you to see. You need to see these people.
Yeah, and I think that is I think that is one of the issues with what has been in the past with representation on stage, is that a lot of white people like to say that they don't see color, that they choose the best people for the parts. It's always the best, and the best always happens to be white, and there's that whole thing. And this, of course, leads me to a perfect segue to the latest thing that you and I have worked together on at Mile Square
Yes.
Theater, which only has one white person in it. Um, but I just finished directing It's a Wonderful Life, a filmed version of the staged radio play. Think about all the levels there.
Yes.
With
Based
only
on the movie,
based on the movie,
which was based on a book.
which is which of course lends itself to just saying everybody's used to seeing a bunch of white people in this, so let's do it a different way.
Yeah, and I am so excited about it, and what a great cast. And
yes, our cast. I'm going to go ahead and say the names of our cast.
yeah,
The one white dude is John Keller, and then we have Nandita Shenoy, whom we've already mentioned, and Danny Johnson, and Blair Brooks, and Gabriel Hernandez, and I think that's everybody. 5 people.
Yeah, it's 5 people.
5 people playing 30 or 40 roles. And
Yeah.
I thought I was going to keep naming names, but there are only 5 people.
You can name characters. You can't name any more actors.
Right.
Yeah, and and 3 of them are, if we have usual suspects, our usual suspects at our theater. And Nandita Shenoy, I'm just suddenly counting the project that she's been involved in of late. She wrote for Given Circumstances, and she was a 7th inning stretch playwright. And now she's finally getting to show her acting skills. And Blair Brooks, who's done a ton of shows, and she and I went to grad school together. And I think I told you this. I directed Blair more than any other actor I know. And
oh, really?
Yeah.
I knew that you directed her a lot, but I didn't know you directed her like that much.
Yes, she was my graduate school muse, pretty much.
Oh, that's lovely. I love that. I think she might be my new muse. I don't know. She's really wonderful. I have to say that the first day of rehearsal of It's a Wonderful Life, I asked everybody, what is your relationship to this play? And almost all of the people of color in the room said, well, it was never something that I knew. I didn't really know. I didn't really care. And so it felt like reclaiming something that people had assumed was white people's, if that makes sense. When it's really just a story of family, about how a family, a community rallies around one person. And the idea that we were doing that play, and that I was working on that play with Mile Square Theater, which has become an important part of my community, that during the coronavirus pandemic, which is breaking the bonds of community, we're doing this play about community, and we got to have a community that is inclusive and as diverse as the community of Hudson County, as the community of New York City, as the community of the world. And we got to do this it's very dark, but it's also a very feel-good show for the holidays.
We're expanding our community, and we're redefining our community. And I think this really, kind of sends that out into the world, that this is how we're now, because our audience has seen this play 4 times.
Oh, wow.
And on stage, and we've had some diversity, but not much. And I think that this is really gonna, okay, great, I get it. This is really how we want to see the world, with the faces that are in this piece. And and I think the piece just has a broad appeal. I mean, we all struggle in life the way that these people in this story struggle.
That's right. Oh, no. So when does it stream officially?
It starts on Thanksgiving, so one can purchase a link, a streaming link,
Mhm.
and can once you have it, you can wait to use it. And once you start using it, you've got, I think, 48 hours to watch it, and you can watch as many times as you want in that 48 hours. But it doesn't stream until Thanksgiving Day.
Great.
And they
and
can be
runs
purchased. They can be purchased through the Sunday after Christmas. So there's from now until the Sunday after Christmas, you can get the link, and then you can stream it whenever.
And where can we go to buy those tickets?
At milesquaretheater.org.
And that's theater with an R-E, isn't it? It's
It is. It's the snooty way to say
very
theater.
fancy. It's a very fancy theater.
Yeah.
Well, Chris O'Connor, thank you so much for coming on the Reparations Show. Thank you so much for your what the good that you put into the world. I appreciate that. And thank you for paying reparations to your community. I appreciate that more than anything.
Well, thank you. Thank you for doing this work and everything else you do. And I foresee you doing a little bit more at Miles Square Theater in the near future.
I hope
we'll be
so.
talking.
Thank you so much for that, for this weekend Reparations. Kevin, thank you so much. And I would love to talk to you more about the tea, about the show. So my first guest for our episode is Bree McCallum. If we can bring Bree out and about. Hey, Boo!
What up, Boo?
Oh my goodness, Bree is everything to me. Bree is actually one of the first people that I met on my very first day of college. I had like a Theater 100 class, one of the basic like gen ed classes I had to take. And I was very much on a very different path when I met Bree. And she has been a big inspiration to me. And now I call her Auntie Big Sis because I would like,
we are family.
My life, girl, it's okay. It's fine. Going. Just give them a little bit of the sauce of who you are. Just can I get a quick bio, a quick back?
Sounds good. Oh yes, darling. So my name is Bree, Brianna McCallum. I do go by Bree or Breezy. Let's see. I graduated from the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, with a bachelor's in stage and screen acting. Let's see, my most like recent things. Julius Caesar. I did play Mark Antony. Yes, a male's role. Talk to me about it later. What else did I do? I sang.
Men on Boats.
I did do Men on Boats with Las Vegas Theater Company out here. Thank you, honey. Like I sing, I do voice acting. I work at Audible if you want to know my conventional stuff. But yeah, it's been a good ride being an actor through these times, and it's kind of rough, I would say, right now while everything is shut down, or people are having to stay away and not go to concerts, theater.
That's like changed a lot.
Yes,
like extremely fast.
Yes, and that's what's pushed me into like voice acting a little bit, though.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been good, and skincare and a lot of other things,
Yeah,
but it's definitely rough. I miss you.
I miss you too. I think one of the things that I loved about Bree so much, beyond just like her energy, her love of the art, she's very much a student of her craft. One of the things that I immediately noticed about Bree when she walked into my classroom, she did like a quick like intro to all the freshmen, was that she was the closest person who did anything artistic who looked like me. And with the diversity, with our episode being on the diversity of Black women and being that Black girl, Bree was a plus size Black girl who was like very confident and in the arts, something that I thought you had to be like Will Smith and Jada and have that kind of like Black girl magic, like Illuminati witchcraft to be able to do. But like, she was just doing it and owning it. And I was flabbergasted. So, can you tell me a little more about what, like, I'm gonna ask everybody this question, but what kind of Black girl are you? I know that I'm projecting a lot of what I see in you, but
Okay, what kind of Black girl am I? Well, when we're looking at the stereotypes, when it comes to being strong, definitely, fighting like through adversity, with the smile on your face or without. I do both. I would say that I'm the Black woman that is here to nurture and love. Another stereotype, but is it really wrong? We take care of people, and I'm here for that. I think it's necessary.
Mhm.
I would say that I'm the fun loving, give me a hug, let's go dancing type of Black woman. you know, I would say that I am the let's sit down and read a book, let's study this. What is this? I want to be knowledgeable about this type of Black woman.
Yes.
It's like all encompassing of the magic that we are. Oh, thank you.
I had an audition for something, and it was like at 11 o'clock at night. I was like, Bree, I need a monologue. Yes, I need a monologue. That's like a minute and a half right now. She sent me like 3 in less than 5 minutes.
Yes, pull up the monologue book. Say no more. Yes, honey.
So what has been your Black girl experience? Like, what has been your Black girl experience like in life? Were you able to like see people who looked like you that influenced you to become this powerful Black woman that you are?
Yes, great question. I would say that like who stuck out to me as a child was Queen Latifah, because she is that like fiery, feisty, curvy woman, But when we're talking about theater, I also wasn't very cultured in it. I will say that, growing up, but I did not, when I did go to see theater, I didn't see anyone that looked like me. So it definitely was like, let me watch these films and try to find that for myself, but I didn't see that immediately. So I had to make it. I had to be that person to stand up and say, well, I am this curvy Black woman, and this is what I'm going to give you. Let me tell you why you need me and why you're wrong if you don't like cast me. You have to have that energy.
Right. You have to kind of like it's crazy. Like Black women have this like very intersectional and like differentiating experience of having to pitch themselves in so many spaces. Like I have to pitch to myself, like, I'm not going to steal furniture store. In fact, I came with money to buy something. And I've like especially within the arts, we have to pitch ourselves that we are more than like these like very single layered characters. Like I've seen very few Black women who are like confident love interests, or like not the quirky best friend who doesn't have like any life outside of like being a supporting character.
Yes.
And so like what
Mammy.
Yeah, exactly. And those are examples of just like how the world has taught us like what being a plus size Black woman is. Like I remember an episode of, for me, my Black woman was Raven Simone. That's So Raven. I loved That's So Raven. She was busty, but she had this big bubbly personality.
Yeah.
I was infatuated with people who looked like me and people who didn't look like me. Yeah. And growing up in LA, I saw a lot of both of that. I went to school with like Arabic kids, Chinese kids, tons of Latino, like different identities. And I saw a girl on TV who looked like me and had friends that looked like my neighborhood. And so but there was a point where either in the show or something, I remember a distinct point where it was like an episode where she wanted to do something, and it was because she was plus size that she wasn't given the job.
Yes.
And that was like
in real life
times. That was like one of the first times that the world had taught me that plus size Black women weren't welcomed here.
Yes.
Do you have an experience that's like that? Or
yes. It's usually being picked as the support to the strong white lead woman that's going through, the ingenue, you know what I mean? When I went there for the ingenue part, becoming the support, being the mammy in shows like, oh, you're our one Black person. Let's reach out. We're doing gosh, To Kill a Mockingbird, we need a Calpurnia. You know what I mean? We're like, I need you for that. And so that's really, gosh, that's really when it showed to me, you know. When I first started in theater, it wasn't, you know, I was in high school, so it wasn't like, you know, it's kind of like, oh, you're here, let's do it. But when it happened, when I got to college is when I really saw that. I was like, oh, you know, they don't really want to, the director's reaching out to me like, you were great. I just don't know that we have the sizes for you or the budget to fit you, you know? But so I still want you to be in the show as this insert other character, but I really wanted to be the lead.
And it's a trip how like in production they act like tailors and like hems don't exist.
They don't exist in production sometimes.
And it's a beautiful now that as our generation we've like embraced a lot of like plus size, like the idea of being plus size, the idea of, and it's not even just being plus size, but being curvy. Like within the last 10 years, I don't know how, no one sent me the text message, but everybody wanted to be thick overnight. And I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Overnight, Nylah.
I was getting teased on the bus every day at home. Why is the kid who was teasing me now in my DMs? That's not how that works.
That's exactly.
That's not how that works.
Same thing for me. I was like, oh, okay. I guess now it's cool to be who I've always been.
Right. I appreciate how you brought up, like getting back on track, I appreciate how you brought up like how you had a lot of leaders that were in the industry that like saw out your talent and recognized it and still like remained conformant to like this non-welcoming Black girl like principle.
Yes.
Have you ever felt like a fear of opportunity because of your body and your skin? I know.
That is, you know, it's like yes and no. You know, like yes, that is something that will come up, but I've been able to push through that by saying, okay, these are my fears in this box. I'm going to put you in the corner and I'll get back to you. You know, because when you get into the room, there you don't have any space to be anything but confident. You know. And so I've had them, but like I've really been like, okay, you're in this corner. I'm gonna get back to you on my way out of the audition. You know, right? Of course, I've definitely had those fears. Like, okay, I want to go for this part, but I know that I look like this, so I'm going to, or I know how I'm going to be perceived. You know, so let me put some makeup on. Let me get, you know, dressy if I want to, you know, be seen as sexy to the, you know, I've done things, and I haven't really had an issue with doing them, except for in the beginning when I'm thinking about why do I have to do this? You know, like why is this necessary? But I understand the industry at the same time, so I will, you know, I'll put the whatever it is that Black women have to pretty much deal with all the time. You know, I'll do that, and there are times when I don't, and I just go in there and I'm like, okay, well, y'all gonna take this monologue and you'll want me regardless of if I'm wearing a skirt.
You about to be blessed by this monologue that I'm giving you graciously from my God-fearing heart.
Yes.
Yes. Because Bree will have you in tears reading the script for like a gummy bear commercial because we know how much Nylah likes gummy bears.
Yes, we do.
But I love that you were able to be like very, not militant, I want to choose another word, but very like versatile. And you saw like the obstacles that had heated in front of you. And instead of like trying to trudge under it, like everybody is forcing you to and telling you to, you're like, nah, I got a grappling hook in the back. Let me just boom.
Yes.
Yeah. We got a free climb a wall bet. I got this. Like you took pride in the strength that Black women like have like ancestrally, traditionally, like for centuries have to do, and been able to apply it with stride and in fashion, which is something that I think is like very unique to like the Black girl experience as well as your Black woman experience. And you do everything with just this joyous, welcoming smile. And I'm so appreciative to that. And oh, girl, let's not just talk about this. Like that, I have, you know, we got two other amazing artists on here, and I just want us to all get our Black girl magic together.
Yes, let's do it.
Amazing stuff. So the next person that we're gonna talk about, thank you, Brie. We're gonna send you back to the other side on backstage real quick. So who we're gonna talk to next, we're going to introduce Lauren Washington. Lauren has been so gracious to send us one of her amazing YouTube videos. My girl's out here trying to get them YouTube ducats, them YouTube dollars. She launched her channel almost a year ago. I gotta check with her again and that, but she is mad funny, and we got a clip for y'all to see. Roll it.
Next, we're getting a little.
Wrong black girl. It's fine. Lauren's video though. Roll it.
No one's ever gonna invite me anywhere after this.
Hi everybody, I'm Lauren. This is my sleep mask. This is to help you procrastinate from that homework you've been putting off, and this is my video.
How could I not love it too? So whatever the results, we'll raise.
No, I already have my bonnet on.
Hell, as if it's my own.
Wow. I can't stand your ass.
Sure it's mine? Because
I overheard Crystal talk. Can I help you? No, I don't want to go out tonight. Why would I want to go out tonight? I'm already in my bonnet. Okay, yeah, but whose party is it? Like Big Nick? Like Tall Nick? Or like Nick with the big... Oh. Okay, let me get ready. I got time to finish this episode.
thank you.
Oh, shit. Put on the perfect playlist real quick. Okay. Left a good job in the city, working for the man every night and day.
I see him stand in line just to get beside her. I let her see the Aston and let the rest surprise her. That's when we disappear. You need GPS to find her. Oh, that was your girl? I thought I recognized her.
For a minute, I never had my girl again. For a minute, I'm losing to some other man. For no less, no more. I'm just because the five is the dick. Only got four. It's her goal.
It's a party in the USA. It's a party in the USA.
Okay, Lauren. Time to get in the shower.
Let me talk to him. Let me talk to him. Let it rain. Let me talk to him.
How slutty are we getting tonight? I have work in the morning. Be stone, cold stone. I wish I could mean this, but here's my goodbye. Oh, I'm happy for you. Yeah, that did nothing. That's fine. Proud Mary, keep on burning, and we're rolling, rolling, yeah, rolling on the river. I need something that says I have work in the morning, but you can still get me a drink. Big wheels keep on turning, proud Mary, keep on burning, till we're rolling, rolling. Rolling on the river. Take me on, and you're always next to me. Hello? No, I just got out of the shower. So now the real question. Did I remember to shave? That's fine. My legs look fine. I'm gonna need another hour.
I'm that bad type, make your mama sad type, make your girlfriend mad type, might seduce you that type. I'm the bad guy.
Duh.
Feel like you really should've put a ring on it. Don't be mad when you see that you want it. Feel like you really should've put a ring on it.
Why men great till they gotta be great? I just took a DNA test, turns out I'm 100% that bitch. Even when I'm crying crazy and I got boy problems, that's the human in me. Bling bling, and I saw them, that's the God.
Okay, last but not least, hair. Man, I love being black.
You could have had that bitch, knock a middle, help you with your career, just a little. You supposed to hold me down, but you holding me back, and that's the sound of me not calling you back.
I'm about to leave right now. What? The cop shut it down? Oh no! No, I definitely have to call my Uber. Yeah! That sucks. That's crazy. Get through a night without a party. Yeah. Even a super awesome one that I was totally planning on going to. Mm-hmm. That sucks. No, I don't think we really need to do anything else. Yes, girl, I am devastated. I was so hoping that I would get to hang out with y'all tonight. Yeah. I was literally out the door. Well, you know what they say. The universe works in mysterious ways and all of that. Yeah. I'll definitely call you tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Love you too. Bye. Whew. That was close. That's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a big thumbs up because I do make new videos every week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the little bell next to it for notifications so that you get notified every time I hopefully make one of these videos a week. If you want to find me outside of my videos, my social media is still Lauren Elizabeth on almost everything, and if it's not, it will be linked down below. You can also find me on my blog, College Chronicles, which I update every Tuesday and Thursday. And as always, if you're new to the family, welcome and be kind to one another. Bye!
I am ready to throw so much shade. I know you do that every time. Hey, sure. Fine.
Oh my goodness. I really put myself out there with that video and I still laugh at it consistently because that's why I was late signing into this one. I was like in the middle of a shower session and I was like, wait, what time was I supposed to be on there?
I knew it. I know my friends. I know my friends. I know you too well. I saw this. I was like, oh, this kid. You know what? She be doing this all the time. But I love it. I love your journey. I love your blog too. I read it every Tuesday and Thursday.
Thank you.
And so tell me, with all the spectacular, tabulous personalities and talents, what kind of Black girl are you, sis?
You know, I should have been prepared for this question because you asked Bree first. So I'm the kind of Black girl that genuinely just, I want to have fun. I want to make people laugh, and I want to laugh too. I am a shoulder to cry on and an ear to listen. But I will also tell you real quick, dump him or just stop doing it if you don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like we should be wasting energy on people that don't give us that energy back, or things that don't give us that energy back. If you don't like that job, quit. If you don't like that boy, break up. If you don't like that girl, break up. But don't come to me asking for my opinion and then run off and do something completely different, because then I'm not gonna give you my opinion anymore. I'm a big sis. I'm the Black big sis at all times.
You are. You are. I will ask you, should I wear these shoes? Nylah, no, you shouldn't wear those. Okay, 2 minutes later. Nylah, why you got them shoes on? Your feet hurt. Why'd you let me wear these shoes? But you are very much the Black big sis. You have the biggest heart. And that is one of the things I love most about you. And with all of these great talents, with all of this just big personality, just like how we're talking about the diversity of Black women, who did you see that exuded just an inkling of this type of energy that made you want to flip it, twist it, reverse it, and replicate it?
So growing up, I watched a lot of cartoons. I didn't watch a lot of shows. I heard the That's So Raven. I snapped to that, but mine was Susie Carmichael in the Rugrats.
Love it.
She was the epitome of greatness, and she knew she was great, and nobody told her to calm down with it. Like, everybody was just accepting of how good she was at everything, and it wasn't like she didn't get stuff that other kids got. Like, she got stuff. She got prizes in science fairs and stuff like that because she was really good, and I loved that. I was like, this little girl, because as Black kids, we're taught you got to be twice as good to get half as much sometimes. And Susie Carmichael was twice as good, and she got everything. Like, if she was in an episode, she was getting whatever she was going for, and I loved her. And I wanted to be her when I grew up. I loved Susie Carmichael. Also, number 5 in Codename Kids Next Door.
Hey.
And Shaniqua in the Backyardigans. I know she wasn't technically Black, but all those kids was Black. You can't tell me nothing. They had a Tyrone and a Shaniqua in the little cow / ladybug thing. Like, all of them guaranteed Black. So I had a lot of Black role models as a kid, thank goodness. I didn't know Cinderella was white until well into middle school. Brandy's Cinderella was the first and only Cinderella I ever watched, with her micro braids. And so, yeah, I've always had Black people in my periphery, in my entertainment periphery. It never dawned on me that there were fewer Black roles until I got more into high school and college, because all my life, my family only showed me Black movies. I saw Deliver Us from Eve, and I saw You Can Play That Game, and I saw all the great Black movies, Soul Food and Soul Plane, and just all the movies, Don't Be a Menace to Society. Like, I was surrounded by tons of different Black people.
So when I asked the question, have you ever feared or felt like your Blackness would impact your visions and your goals? What does that mean to you with all these great representations that you were able to see and take that positive example from? Was that real for you? Has there ever been a real fear that your Blackness has been like an obstacle, at least for like an influential perspective to get what you want?
Definitely. I've never let it stop me from trying something, but it's definitely a thing that I have to think about sometimes, where I'm like, there's always that like underlying fear of, did I not get it because I wasn't good enough, or did I not get it because they didn't see a Black girl in that role?
Right.
And I have just learned that if I want a place in this world, I can't wait for somebody else to make it for me. I have to make it myself, and then invite other people into it. Because I can't wait for some nice white producer dude to be like, "Hey, I would love to put you in a movie," when
Right.
I could have been in 5 of my own movies by then. And then like, "Hey, I want to put another Black girl in a movie," or "I want to put 15 Black girls or 15 Black people in a movie." So that's why it's never stopped me, because I don't think that you should be waiting for someone to give you your space. I think you should be making your own space. And so that's been a big part of it. But yeah, I do feel sometimes worried that I didn't get something because of the color of my skin, or they were like, "Well, we already cast a Black guy, so we can't cast a Black girl," because they want that diversity without actually trying to do anything.
Right.
So they're like, "He's beautiful in Black and she's beautiful in white, and now we've showed a mixed couple, so basically we don't have to do anything else." And it's like, yeah, but like the other 15 people in your cast are white, so
right. And no one takes the time to like manage and like assess diversity, and like even like assess like the real issues and fears. Well, I think one of the pet peeves, just because you brought that out, about stories like that try to like infringe, I'm not going to say false diversity, but like very much like watered down diversity, is because they
performative diversity.
Performative diversity, because they never talk about the different dynamics that exist realistically in that diversity. Like I have a white uncle, and there are jokes and moments like in like our family like gatherings where he will feel outed, and he'll have to be like, "Yeah, that was like, I can't really laugh at that joke, guys, because I'm white.
Yeah.
I have Black kids. I don't have that reference. I don't have that right. I don't, like I see it, but I can't relate to it. And I only do so much." And a lot of performance doesn't reflect that, especially when we have this just forced like performative diversity. And I love that you analyze that. And that's why I wanted to feature you as one of my amazing content creating women, Black girls. You are out here killing it. And I want to make sure that we introduce our sister Jada Baker, and show her content. So I'm going to talk to you again when we're all together, but we're going to put her to the side real quick. But I want to make sure that we introduce Miss Jada Larkin. I can already see like Rihanna calling her, being like, "Can you help me with Fenty, Savage X Fenty?" And Jada is like, "I am here." Jada has this energy that is so infectious and just so pure. Like if I had to like draw what beautiful like angels look like just like, them little cherub baby angels, it would be something like Jada. Just a beautiful like energy just falling from the sky and just blessing you. That's Jada. That is very much her energy. She has gone on this beautiful journey during this pandemic period, during this quarantine period, and used it to create art and used it to create a brand. And I love her so much for it. We're going to share a clip of that.
Next, we're getting a little more racy here. We have 6 years ago, I, 27-year-old woman, walked in on my former best friend, good, 27-year-old woman, and ex-boyfriend, good, 34-year-old man, sleeping together. And now she's back in my life and I don't know how to deal with it. Yikes. All right. Like the title says, I walked in on my now former best friend, Victoria, sleeping with my now ex-boyfriend 6 years ago. I had only been dating my ex for 6 months, but the betrayal still hurt.
Wait, stop the motherfucking music. You,
Are you dumb?
Girl, doesn't matter how long you were together. You're absolutely right to feel like the way you felt because you're my best friend. Why are you? What's up? And you're my boyfriend. Why are you? What's up? Okay. I was living with Victoria at the time.
Oh my God, they were roommates.
But luckily, our lease was month to month good. So I was able to move out quickly. Yes, we love to hear it. I ended up moving back with the home with my parents. Fine. I completely cut contact with both Victoria and my ex good. And the last I heard of them was that they had started dating when I moved home. Wow.
Bitches.
In the past 6 years, I met someone new and we've been married for just under a year now. Good. My husband, 28, knows all about what happened between Victoria and my ex. Last Saturday, my husband's best friend, Julian, invited us out for lunch because he wanted to introduce us to his new girlfriend. Well, his new girlfriend is Victoria. Wow. That's fucked. What? That's fucked up. Okay. Victoria spent the whole lunch gushing about how much she misses me and telling Julian all of the good memories we had together. She made it seem like we had just drifted apart after I moved instead of her betraying me. Julian is a really nice guy and I didn't want to hurt him by making a scene, so I ended up faking sick so I could leave early. Whew. Honestly, I probably would have done the same shit because I'm not big on confrontation. Like, I will confront someone if I have to, but like, I would like to do it in private, face-to-face, one-on-one. I feel like I would also not just be like, you bitch, like at the dinner table, like, this bitch is a fucking fraud. Well, it depends. It depends on how upset I am about it. I might just be like, this bitch is a fucking fraud. Maybe not at the whole table, but be like, take it aside, be like, this bitch is on some fuck shit. Anyway, when we got home, my husband asked if I wanted him to tell Julian what happened, but I'm not sure if that would be fair to him. I know people can change, but seeing her again just brought the betrayal and hurt all back. How do I deal with having to see her again? Yikes. This one's hard. I don't know if I have an answer for this. Actually, this is one of those things where I feel like no matter what, it'll probably be for the best, but something bad, like something unfavorable, is gonna be the outcome as well. Does that make sense? If she decides to suck it up and just like not tell homeboy, I feel like it's gonna get out eventually. She's not gonna be able to bottle all this shit up. If she saw her once and she's like already thinking about like, I can't do this, I doubt that however long the relationship that lasts, that she's gonna be able to just suck it up and be like, yeah, like I feel like it's gonna come out eventually. I mean, I don't know. This situation, it's sticky. I don't know. I'm sorry, girl. I have nothing for you. Go ahead and give us nothing. Yes.
Y'all don't see this. My lash was so shook. Video and its content that decided to jump off like, Victoria, what? I was like, listen, hold up, sis. Wait. But that video gave me life when you posted it. I was like, oh, girl, look at my lash.
Oh my gosh, no, we have run away.
It was run away. But thank you, Jada, so much for like being here and taking the time out of your busy schedule, because Jada, like all of us, are scholars. She's out here winning. Can I ask which is this your graduation semester or is it the following?
Yes. So we have a couple more weeks and your girl is a college graduate.
Finally. So I met Jada. Did I meet you? I think I met you in the middle of a production or a class. And it was one of those friendships that like we met and we kept bumping into each other. So it was like, oh, the universe says that this is my human now. So let me just say hi. And I love Jada because she has such a genuine personality around her. Like I'll tell my truth. For me, I examine like, who can I be myself in front of before I let any of myself out. So I'm typically like very cold, very Olivia Pope, very Eva. from Deliver Us from Eva. I'm very, who is this? What is this? I don't think I like the temperature in here. And Jada was like, boop, hey girl, what's good? And she got in and under my skin and took a nap there and said, I live here. I was like, damn, I like her. I can't. She's getting through all of my ruse. So tell me, Jada Waita, what kind of Black girl are you in the context of like just who you are? Can you tell us that?
I first and foremost, I would like to think of myself as a Black woman supremacist. I believe that Black women are the blueprint. We are the foundation. I am such a girl's girl. Like, I'm such a sisterhood type of woman. And so I am just the biggest advocate for women, especially Black women. And so that's first and foremost what everyone should know about me is I am a men lick the boots of our, or lick the heels of our boots, and Black women rise. So that's really me. I'm a very anxious person, very scatterbrained all over the place. Very, I don't know. I like to have fun. I like to, but not like out all the time. Like, I am a person, my social battery takes a lot to recharge. And so I like to be around people, but only for so long until I'm like, all right, I need to head back.
No, I do a public hangout once a season. You might see me at the cookout in winter, but do not expect me to be at the cookout in the summer. You don't see me more than once.
No, I'm not I don't want to pop out like that too much.
Right.
I like to be in my bed, watching some YouTube videos, some Netflix. I just like to be chilling,
chilling. Out here chilling with the Netflix anime or wherever.
Yes.
So you're creating content, and you're creating content just like holistically. I think one of your first videos was talking about the channel that you wanted to be. And I admired how like, just like, what's the word where people could see through you, just how versatile and just how transparent, like how transparent you were in your art. Has that ever been a difficult thing for you to do with the layer of just like your personality, your like open transparency, and of course like being a Black woman?
Absolutely. I grew up very insecure. I was a very insecure girl. I went to school in the suburbs, and so I grew up around a lot of people who didn't look like me. And so I thought something was wrong with me. Like, I would look on TV and I would see people who look like me, but then I would go to school and look around, and there was no one to really affirm that I belonged. And so I had to kind of find my own way and kind of get along, with dismissing those feelings and validating myself. And so I have been wanting to do YouTube and do content stuff since middle school. Like I talked about in the video, like I've been wanting to do a YouTube. Like my siblings have been telling me to do a YouTube since forever. But I was too afraid of what other people may think, or other people judging me, or like, oh, she's weird, oh, she's whatever. And like what people at school would think or whatever. But now I'm just like, fuck it. Like, who cares? Like, whatever. Especially with the whole pandemic shit. I was like, oh, the world is like ending any day now. Let's just get this YouTube off. Let's just get the videos off. Let's just see what happens here. Because I was like, let's waste no time. And like Lauren said, it's like, it's important for us to make our own content. Like, I can't be waiting around for some white or non-Black person to look at me and be like, oh, we like her. Like, she's the Black person that we need. Like, it's like, I need to put myself out there and do something for me, and like put my own face out there and not wait for someone to push me out there. So definitely been hard to get that started, but we're doing it.
There are so many just like 2-3 second, and like honestly it's like 2 and like 7 seconds of me like practicing editing, and there's like 40 minutes of me ranting in the car, like getting Starbucks, of like just unpublic content, and the bravery that you have just to like put yourself out there, to put your like like just your unfiltered self is like so beautiful and inspiring. And I love like, you answered like all of my questions in like 2 seconds. Like I love how like amazing like, will you let us sis ask the question? Don't apologize, you're great. But I want to get us all together so that we can talk about these like different stuff. So if can we get the war council together? Oh my God, beautiful black girl. We all in different colors.
Yes, we are.
We feel like
Brown skin girl.
Okay.
Don't get me started.
I went to Cheetah Girls, but okay.
So we talked a lot about being the type of black girl, like being our own type of black girls, but we also have all experienced this sense of like, Lash, I need you to find your life.
Look, I need her to cooperate with you.
No. This is why you buy black owned products, because these lashes were not black owned, so they are out here trying to fight.
Okay, fight the love.
It's the colonizer energy.
No.
These lashes are bringing colonizer energy, and it's not welcome. You know what?
She said yes, yes. Rip off lashes on air.
Okay, go ahead, honey.
Okay, now we can focus on the task at hand, taking over the world as black women. One of the things that as a black woman, I would share, because I've asked you all what type of black woman you are. I am the black woman who admires the change, and I see things from a very field's distance. I don't act very instinctively or like very impulsively because I want what's after that. I don't think about just the ice cream. I think about the cone and sprinkles. Like I'm very much that way. And one of the things that I saw with all of you that made me like just push me harder, because you know a girl is good for not texting people back, for not going to the hangout. Y'all already know. Like y'all know me. We've hung out more than once. These are my homegirls.
Yes.
But I have always thought of the way that black women interact with each other. We've all touched on these topics of like being that black girl and being in a space and holding that space. And very often we are either the ostracized black girls or we are black women who are put and pent up against other black women. Yeah. And not just for like professional success in a healthy way, wanting to get the things that we want in stride in life, no matter who is present, but in a way that you have to be a good enough black girl. Like it's this intersectional double standard that I feel like many, if not all black women go through. And for myself, it was being like the intellectual black girl, like having straight A's, having the highest grades that I could. Like if there was another black girl in the room who was always an intellectual, like it was immediately the culture of the classroom changed. Like if I got a 96 and she got a 98, it immediately became, well, maybe Nylah doesn't need to get honor roll. Maybe Nylah shouldn't apply for that scholarship. And I want to ask, like, is that a true experience for y'all?
I would say for me, yes. Yeah.
It's that's how we met. I mean, it was less the other way around, but that's how my best friend and I met. She raised her hand first in like a math class, and I was like, I hate this thing. And then I like got up and introduced myself, and I was like, I'm gonna be a lead in every musical, and she was like, I hate it. And so I was like, you have that automatic fight that
you don't really know where.
Yeah, there can only be one. Like times one. Like, no, we can all coexist. I feel like it's always, and I feel like that's deliberate. I feel like our surroundings deliberately try to ingrain competition in us so that we're always, because I feel like the power that we have when we come together and uplift each other, it's unmatchable.
Unmatched.
Like, right. And so I feel like they purposely want to pit us against each other so that we can't become as powerful as we
exactly.
you know?
Which is why I love that the movement is Black Lives Matter, because or you know what I mean, or the feminist movement, the Black feminist movement too, because sometimes there's a difference.
Yes,
You know what I
definitely
mean?
is.
Yes.
So like, I love that.
Experience, and that's why I talk to Bree about being plus size Black women, and I know that we all have very respective like different body like proportions and like identify with like different body like types. So
Yes.
that leads me to my next question. Like, how do you feel that the presentation of Black women has affected the way that we, especially as Black artists, are perceived in our industry?
I feel like there's even more so now, but I feel like there's always been an unrealistic beauty standard for women across the board. I think that especially now we're in the age of like the Instagram models and the, you know, all that stuff. And so but people, that's the thing. I feel like only a small percentage of people look like that. And so we get compared like regular real life, regular ass girls. We get compared to these girls that you see when you're scrolling through your timeline. And that's not fair, because if I had money, girl, I look like that too. If I had the money, I look just like that. I look just like that. So it's like, of course, no one's in, but also I feel like here's the thing, and it's not always, because women love to, because of patriarchy, women and misogyny, women judge other women as well. But when it comes to men especially, they'll look like a foot, and then try to criticize a woman who's beautiful woman, but it's like, oh, she too big. But look at you. To reverse
and it'll be the man with ashy ankles.
The call is coming from inside out.
Ashy ankles.
And that is not to say that men who take care of themselves in a way that is like traditionally or like conventionally what we would define as handsome or anything like that. And I think that we as Black women, we live in this, I don't know if it's true to y'all, but I've felt like many times in my childhood and my upbringing that the responsibility of being a Black woman and portraying yourself as a proud Black woman, as like there are these double standards that exist even within the Black community for Black women. Like, people look at Black women differently no matter what we do, especially I've had many cousins, male like cousins who've had like interracial relationships, and it's like, oh, okay, welcome, how you doing, blah 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 blah. Like, we just act like regular people. As soon as a cousin who is female brings a partner that is not Black or is not Afro anything, it is an issue. It's a problem. It is, what are you doing to our people? You would think that we started like a war in the house, on Thanksgiving.
Well, my partner is currently white, and I shouldn't say currently, because it's not like
if you're gonna change later.
My partner he's not gonna change colors anytime soon.
Wow. That's a special type of boo.
But it's funny that you mentioned bringing home people of a different race, because he just very recently met basically my entire family over the last like 2 weeks or so, and they've all been very, very inviting and very very encouraging of the relationship. I think the biggest thing is that I've had the experience where now people are like pushing me to lock him down somehow. They're like, no, because if he was with anybody else, he wouldn't, like, it wouldn't even be a hesitation. Yeah, they would be married, and she would be barefoot and pregnant and living off of a pension by now or whatever. And it's like, I think people just forget that as a woman, that's not what I'm looking for all the time. Like, I'm not I didn't catch a white dude so I can be like, now I get white people money. Like, that's
even how that works.
Yeah, no.
I was like, when I decided to be with him, I noticed it, obviously, but
Right.
I wasn't like, I want a white guy because white guys have money. That would be ridiculous and not
Exactly.
fall in love with. So it was much less about that and more about just the societal standards of, okay, get on with the marriage part. Like, we're with your relationship, you gotta speed it up, get these episodes so that we can live vicariously for you. And I wanted to make sure my family knew we were taking our time as it was, and we didn't have all of the parts of like, well, how does he feel about being white at your house? He feels fine. How do you feel about being black at his house? I feel just as good. And like it isn't a problem unless you make it a thing. And it's something that I am very vocal about.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like sometimes, because this isn't always the case, because there are always anomalies. I feel like people love to be like, nothing is ever hard and fast for almost anything. But I want to say that I see from what I've observed, I think that sometimes the difference between a black woman dating outside of a race and a black man dating outside of his race is that when a black man does it, it's in spite of not being with a black woman. Like, it's like, yeah, I got this foreign girl. She's not some black dusty roach. Like, okay. And but like when a black woman is dating outside, it's not like she's dating this man, like Lauren said, because he's white. She's like, okay, so this man loves me. He thinks I'm beautiful, whatever he wants to do, so I want to be with him. Versus sometimes black men go for Latinas just because they're Latina, just because
they're a fetish. You know,
and it's very upsetting and an issue within our own like Black community, because we have this tendency to ostracize and exoticize others in the ways, and very like viciously in the ways that we are exoticized. Because I have not been in I haven't been in like what I would consider like a real or recognizable like proper relationship. However, I've been like propositioned. I've talked to guys and stuff like that. And the ones who were white identifying and non-Black, they're always propositioned in a way that like, I'm trying something new. Like, I'm not some menu that like,
I've never been with a black girl before. Okay, fuck off, and you're not looking right now.
It was always in a way that's like, if you were just like, if I could just do this, you would be perfect, and my mom would be satisfied with you. Like, what? Hold on, boo boo.
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, what is that? What is that?
Like, I am heavily bougie, and you just order chicken nuggets. Hold on. Okay. I'm not gonna roast you there. Yes, I see you looking at, for all those chicken nugget lovers. I'm not mad at you.
No one's slandering.
No one is slandering. Some people just don't like balls of chicken, and that's just a person that's how I identify.
She said for you it's cool. For me, negative.
Negative. Where is the truffle oil? I don't understand.
It's definitely an issue though. The whole, I'm trying a black woman this time. I've never experienced a black woman. And
I am not a sample platter, sir.
I don't personally take it as a compliment, and I don't know anybody personally who takes it as a compliment.
No, I
like
don't.
It's a compliment. They genuinely, a lot of men who have said it to me genuinely are like, you're the first. You should feel proud to be the first. And I'm like, I understand where you're coming from in terms of like, you think that I think it's fun? Oh, I lost it.
You still good? Did you lose the thought?
Oh no, I lost connection for a second.
Yeah.
I know that sometimes they feel like they're doing you a favor and making you feel nice by saying, you're the first black girl. Like, be nice.
But
it's not. Like,
it's not
a compliment that people seem to think it is. The same way you're so articulate or you're so pretty for a black girl.
That's the one that just when I tell you that's the one that pisses me, that's the one that pisses me off the most.
You're so articulate.
Like, so you usually think that black women are bottom of the barrel ugly, so that's why, I'm not that.
I think that comes like, there's this like societal habit of depersonalizing Black women. And I like that Lauren brought us back to focus, because as much as I like to make food jokes, we don't want to compare ourselves and others to like tangible products like food that we just consume and throw away. And I appreciate that. But I think that there is this like very negative like practice of depersonalizing Black women, where like I've never had a prospect or even like a person in a professional setting, when they're describing my Blackness, they're just using adjectives that like coincide with an aggressive and almost tyrannical form of strength. Like I've had a teacher who, like, my first audition into their classroom was like very comedic and lightly political, just trying to show like my vulnerability, my silly self, just trying to be myself, and immediately turned into like, oh, you're a very serious person. You're a very serious role. We're gonna cast you and put you in this very cold position, like this cold one layer. And whereas I don't mind those opportunities, because those are like roles that are comfortable for me, and I understand that persona, but that is not who I am. And that's not who, like, it's a depersonalizing effect that is very common. Like we depersonalize as a society, we depersonalize Black women heavily, and Black women to other Black women. I went to school at UNLV with another Black woman, and she was depersonalized. And honestly, like in my eyes, I'm going to use this terminology because I felt like it was very heavily, she was very ostracized by other Black women in the space. And I just noticed that when other Black women got together, we immediately, and I include myself in this because I followed the pack, we like ostracized her. She was the other within our group. And it felt, it was happening. I was a part of it, and it felt weird. And so I tried to fight against that too. Like, why do you think that we have that habit to try to ostracize each other and depersonalize?
Oh, it's historical. It goes down. It goes down for generations and generations. And I do think that it is up to us to continue to change that, because I do feel like it is starting to move in a way. Because growing up, I remember seeing the first people to ever bag on me were Black, right? Which like people have like, we have the like type of culture, but like growing up in a Jamaican household where they weren't bagging on me on the things that I was being bagged on at school about. Like my parents are like, oh, bagging on me on like my American Jamaican accent. And then I go to school, but I'm being told that, oh, I love your hair. You're so beautiful. I go to school and they're like, oh, wow, why she ain't got braids in? Why she ain't got a weave in? Why she come to school with her fro? What? Because it's my hair and I like it? Like I'm confused. So I like that. That's where it started for me, and I do feel that it's growing in this way. Like look at us all here, hey girls. And this is a thing, and I'm happy for it. But it definitely, I think, starts historically. Even with the colorism, because I had an issue with that. I ain't even gonna lie. I was like, obviously, very dark skin, and I've
beautiful
had, like,
beautiful.
Oh my God.
And so it's like, but I've had the like, light skinned girls like, wow, you are so pretty for a dark skin.
A dark girl, yeah.
Like what? What do you mean?
Dark skin happened like right around freshman year.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, and the thing that's really crazy to me is because I grew up, Lauren knows, we went to the same high school and the same middle school. Growing up in the suburbs, I had white dudes tell me, oh, you're pretty for a dark girl. And I'm like, you think I'm dark? You think I'm dark as it gets, baby? Like, I understand, like, I'm not light-skinned by any means, but if you think this is dark as it gets, baby, I got a whole nother world for you. Like,
I've always been confused with that concept of like dark skin, light skin, because like I literally have family members, we don't look the same. Like literally me, like if you line me and all my siblings up together, we look like the process of a printer getting more and then like losing out of ink. And as many, like it'll be the siblings where we share the exact same parents. Like the kids that came from like all the same father, we all look different. All our parents look the same. It's my youngest sibling. Both of my mom and her father are African American. All of my siblings, we have African American parents, and she is amongst the lighter of us. And I love her so much because she's able to recognize, like, don't ostracize me. But she had to express this to like 30, 35-year-old women at age 4. She's like, no, don't touch my hair. It's like my sister's. I don't have good hair. What is that? If we have this like system and culture and practice that doesn't allow Black women to be diverse, and that
different. Yeah, I feel like it comes with. I feel like that's where the ostracization and the othering comes from. Is that a lot of times in the Black community we see something that's different and we're like, that's wrong. Like when it comes to like I said, when it comes to like queerness or when it comes to like mental health, we think, that's Black people shit. Like, oh, that's not like that's different. That's not. We don't do that over here, but it's like it's a human thing. Like humans do that.
It's because in the Black community we don't accept duality, or say in the entirety of the Black community, but in the world we don't accept duality.
And I will put myself out there.
People can be Asian in something, Black in something, white in something. It's always like, if you're Black, then you gotta be this stereotype, this caricature that my brain can categorize you as. We don't accept a duality. Especially even in like history, when we're taught slavery, it's like slavery and then Martin Luther King and then Barack Obama, and now it's over. Like we don't. It's like everybody's been suffering for a really long time, and then they're not suffering anymore.
Now they're all great.
And we don't accept that good things and bad things happen at the same time, and that people have different traits at the same time. And I think my biggest problem growing up was that all of what I perceived as my good traits, my articulation and my desire to learn and things like that, were all compared to white traits. And then the loudness and the comedian inside of me and my hair and all of the traits that I wanted to be proud of were constantly compared to being ghetto and being wrong. And it got to a point where I would have white friends go, oh, I hate those Black people, but not like you. You're not like those.
You're not like one of those. You're one of the good ones.
Like you have to ostracize other Black people because you don't want to be the Blackest person in the room. Which I'm ashamed to say I thought as a kid, but I had little moments where I would be like near Jada and I'd be like, I don't want to be the Blackest person in the room, so I gotta be whiter than the Blackest person in the room, you know?
Yeah.
We aren't given the room to be multidimensional, to have like because I'm saying, but that's what I'm saying. I feel like we are not a monolith. Like Black women, we are not just like, we aren't one little, okay, that's Black women traits. Like it's like we have
so many different shapes, colors, sizes, orientations,
points of view.
That's what I'm saying. It's we aren't. That's what I'm saying. That's why with the stereotypes and stuff, you see, like, it's just like, we aren't supposed to, like, oh, you don't act like those Black people. And it's like, what are you doing?
What are you talking about? And yes, I do.
I am every woman, baby. I act.
Okay. Don't let me get high.
So it's just we aren't allowed to be anything other than, like what Lauren said, about anything other than like, oh, we're gonna put you in this box because it makes me comfortable. Like I'm gonna categorize you as this because it makes me feel better. You realize you have multifacets and you're an expansive person. It doesn't suit me. It doesn't make me feel good. So I'm just gonna disregard it.
And I think that is why I wanted all of you. And that's why I wanted to talk about this diversity of being Black women. Like, we come in different shapes, we come in different sizes, we come in different orientations, we come from different parts of the world. Like, we exist and we are here. And it is with one of my goals and my professional passions to create a creative empire that feeds off of this and recycles and recreates it. I am a firm believer, like, and this is honestly a declaration for myself that I've made within the past year, just because life hit. life hit a lot. Like I'm calling this like not my terrible, but like, you know how kids go through like your terrible twos. I'm going through my troublesome 20s right now, and it is
Yes, honey.
girl. Like after this, I'm gonna have to call one of y'all and ask y'all how to use insurance, because your girl lost.
Girl, you put are you on your parents? Is that not?
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
You get a picture of the card. That's it. That's
Both
all
of
it
you
hurts.
do, but I still have it. But I wanted.
Don't worry, we got you.
I wanted to make sure that for this year and for every other year that when I have opportunities, that I'm able to create a space that is welcoming and feeding, one, the ones that I love, and I love all of y'all, and two,
Love you too, girl.
that feeds this creative empire that I just want to breed and grow. So
Black excellence.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because Issa said she had a quote where she says that she networked across versus networking up, and I feel like I've adopted that. I feel like it's very important to network across and, you know, involve people that you know in your stuff so that you all can be, you know, uplifted together. Yeah.
Yes.
The planet is a lot smaller than you think. You got to be nice to everybody.
Nice to everybody.
Okay.
You never just be in a room that you need to get into.
I want to share a short story inspired from a poem that I wrote with all of y'all. And I wrote this over a year ago, but it's something that relates to the subject of our talk together. And I would love to close on it, just because it is like, I'm using this to declare like greatness upon like all of us, as well as like our individual processes. You know, I'm a text away. Jada Wada, I've been missing you. Lauren,
I miss you guys too. Honestly, here's the thing. Honestly, it's crazy. I don't mean to like, you know, derail us, but I'm just saying I've had too many COVID scares in the past couple months. That's why I've been like too scared to hang out with anybody, because I've been going to school, and I'm not gonna come out, you know me, but I've been going to school, and too many people on that campus have been doing whatever. So I've been in class with people on 2 occasions where they're like, "Hey, by the way, someone on campus, someone in class that you were class with has COVID, so you should probably get tested." And I'm like, "Oh, cool." So I've had about 3 of those, and so that's why I've been wanting to reach out to be like, "Hey, wanna?" But I'm like, every other week I got a damn COVID test.
You good? You good? I'm in Cali now.
So we can definitely do something now, because I have no more school and I'm not leaving my apartment. So we can do something now.
Yeah. I want to share the story and make sure that we close off on just a beautiful note. So I forgot the name that I titled this short story on. It's inspired by a poem, but the basis was this: that I built a big house that has fertile soil, great sunshine, and just produces like the sweetest of fruits. I tend to it. I love it. I appreciate what my ancestors has given me to keep it. All the skills, all the tools, I keep them shined. I keep them cleaned. And I know my neighbors. I know my neighbors across the street and to the left and right of me. And my neighbors in need know that they can come to me. When they come to me, I share my fruit. I share my skills. I share my tools and keep them sharp. Winter comes and those neighbors do not know me anymore. All those seasons, the falls, the springs and summers, when juicy fruits were enjoyed by all, fertile soil was stripped and recycled justly, without any commitments and harsh words or any responsibility upon my neighbors. I let them have it. I let them have it. I let them eat it. And it's winter. My soil is bare. My roots are dry. The shingles on my house don't hold the same way, and my plows have rusted. My cattle are gone, and my windows are cold. I am cold. I look to my left, I look to my right, and I'm looking for my neighbors, and they're gone. House is bare, plantation's gone, and I'm cold. And I ended that poem, that story, asking if you were my neighbor. And I'm declaring to all of you that you are my neighbors. And with better practices to make sure that my soil is fertile, my soil is kept, my tools and my skills are valued for myself, but that I may also respect those tools that you give and the tools that you offer and the soil that you reap and sow and put time into. And I respect it and I give back into it. And I'm so excited to just create a country out of collective plantations with all of you. Ones that are respected and loved and in massive array of juicy fruits. And I love y'all so much. Thank you for letting me have y'all on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Nylah.
Thank you so much.
I love you all so much. And I can't wait to talk to y'all some more backstage. I want to say goodbye to all of y'all just for a second. And I want to thank, of course, Frigid New York, Kevin R. Free, Erez, Joey, Morgan, and Emily from Frigid New York for helping me in this process, for taking me on as a PA, for letting me be your student, for letting me send way too many credits beyond the endpoint, and just allowing me to grow. I'm so excited to be able to have this platform to just share and to grow as an artist. And I'm so excited to see you while watching the next episode of the Reparations Show. Good night, y'all.